Good Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome to this draft vlog series episode. I'm Mason Sapesky, your host here, and today we are going to talk about the 5 most overrated prospects in this year's draft. I know you guys were probably listening to my last video, where I talk about scouting and how I got to my conclusions and everything. We're going to have a series of these videos. It's going to consist of overrated players, underrated, which is up next. Then we're going to go through position groups. Then I'll tell you my personal 10 favorite prospects as a little side thing. Then I will reveal to you my top 32, my big board next week. And then right before the draft, we'll do a first round mock draft where I will predict the entire first round of the NFL draft. Finally, I will do a Steelers mock draft where I will be going live. And you can see my computer when I do it. I'll try to do it like how I'm going to do it. Project the screen to you, and then we'll go through the Steelers draft and predict, and I'll do my mock draft with you, who I would take if I were the Steelers in this position. And then we'll do one who I actually think they will take. So yeah. That'll be fun. But anyway, let's get into it now. It's time to hear the 5 most overrated prospects in this year's draft class. If you like this video, subscribe and drop the bell for notifications so you can get notified every time we post. There's going to be a lot of draft videos coming out. As you guys probably know, I hope to go into scouting once I graduate from Pitt. And so this is important to me. I spent time reviewing nearly 350 prospects this year. I gave them all grades. I ranked them all. I looked at many different factors. I watched game film of them and outside stuff that they did to see if they're truly the answer for an NFL team. And this is how I came to the conclusion of my 5 most overrated players. So without further ado, here we go. The number 5th most overrated player in this year's draft is Florida State edge rusher Jared Verse. I think he's overrated because, yes, he is powerful. Yes, he does show a lot of good signs. However, he is not in the first round discussing. He shouldn't be anywhere near the first round discussing. And there's many, many reasons why. On my big board, I have Jared Verse at 86. That's a 3rd round pick. That's where he should be picked. He's not going to be picked in the 3rd round. He's going to be picked in the 1st round or the high 2nd. And a team will regret this really badly. Number 1, while I wait for this Google Doc to pull up with all my information, Verse has attitude issues. Do you think it is normal to cut grass on the Florida football field after he beat them and eliminated them from bowl eligibility? I don't think so. I think that was disgusting. Verse is not a leader. He is an agitator, and he'll find that out the hard way in the NFL. He is a hard no for me in the 1st round. Don't waste your energy on this guy. Don't do it. I'm trying to find this document, or I'm trying to find this, what I have about him. He does have many good things, he is a hard hitter, he's very intelligent, he's an amazing playmaker and explosive. However, again, like I say, he's going to be successful. However, I just can't give him a 1st round grade. I just can't. There's just something about him that I'm not crazy about. So I don't think he's 1st round material at all. Number 4 is a guy by the name of Dallas Turner, Alabama linebacker. He's ranked 132nd on my draft board. That is a low 4th round grade. Maybe even 5th round. Why do people like Dallas Turner so much? He is not the guy for an NFL team. Do you seriously think that he's going to elevate a team on day 1? I don't. I mean, he was kind of silent in a lot of Alabama games this year when I watched them. I wasn't seeing Dallas Turner be a wrecking ball. What did he do against Michigan? Not a whole lot. He needs to become stronger. He's not strong enough. And like I just said, he does not have enough of an impact on the game. If he can't have an impact on games in college, how do you expect him to do it in the NFL? He will be a major bust if he doesn't fix several key things. And there's very little leadership skills about this guy. Why would you want a guy like this draft a guy like this in the first round? He doesn't deserve it. Just remember that. He's super overrated. Number 3, this guy, Steelers are considering him in the first round. I wouldn't be a fan of it, or I wouldn't be the greatest proponent of it, as a matter of fact, but I could live with it. Because while he is still not my favorite, and not one of the better prospects in this draft, he is nowhere near as awful as the guy we're going to talk about, number 1. And I'm going to go on a huge rant and tear into this guy. Because this guy is truly a bust. And nobody's telling you. They're all pumping this guy up. He's a joke. And I can't wait to rant about him. But now we're going to focus on number 3. And that is, let me get to his report. I'm sorry. That's a guy by the name of Amarius Mims. He's the tackle out of Georgia. He does so many good things. He does have a high football IQ, and he's very tough. And I appreciate that with Mims. However, I don't think he'll be a leader in the NFL. He has been given more than enough chances to be a leader. He has failed. And this guy only had really one good year. That's not going to get him there. He's going to be good in the NFL, but he's not going to live up to the first round hype. And he's just a guy who I think you should prepare for the worst with and hope for the best. Because there's the potential. He can be a great NFL player. He does have that potential to be great. Will he be? I don't think so. Moving on now to a player who, if you want to talk greatness, don't even think about associating their name with. This guy is probably, number 1 is the most overrated goofball in the class. I can't wait to get on the rant about this. But this guy is the biggest fraud in this class. And by fraud, I mean fraud. I mean, he's going to get a team like any one of those teams, the Commanders or the Patriots, this guy is going to screw them up. And don't get me wrong, I am no major Drake May fan. I do like Drake May better than this prospect, but Drake May is going to be an average quarterback, maybe even below average. Now, granted, if he ends up with the Patriots, he could be good. However, if he goes to the Commanders, I don't know. They already tried one North Carolina quarterback and they failed, so I don't know if they will. I just need to scroll and get these prospects' names up. Sorry, I'm just reading from my reports, my scouting reports. Again, I wrote scouting reports. Some of them were detailed than others, but just notes on 250 or 350 some players. So I sacrificed a lot of time. I took the research because I want to get this right. I want to tell you guys the truth. I want to be reputable. So, anyway, the second player, the biggest fraud in this draft is LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels. Now, you might be thinking, this guy's going to be a top 3 pick. Why is he a fraud? Was Bryce Young a fraud last year? I'd say so. Were Zach Wilson and Trey Lance frauds? I'd say so. Just because you're picked top 3 doesn't mean you're an elite quarterback. Look at the last time that the Commanders had picked 2. They were the Redskins then. So stayed, but who cares? A guy by the name of Chase Young, who I really liked. I loved Chase Young coming out of college. He has been nothing but not very good in the NFL. Until he got to San Francisco, where he was benched or something. I don't know. The Commanders don't have a good track history with drafting. And they're going to be about to make it way worse if they draft Jaden Daniels. This guy is not going to succeed in Washington. In fact, I don't know if any of these quarterbacks can succeed in Washington. First off, they're going to have a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn. And I was reading yesterday about our Pitt head coach, Pat Narduzzi, who's also defensive-minded coach. And it was saying about our quarterback, Christian Veyer, how he was transferring out of Pitt under his name in the transfer portal, and how he was benched because he did the one thing an Narduzzi quarterback can't do, and that's turn over the ball. And Tomlin was the same way with Kenny Pickett, and that's why I feel like he failed here. So they're going to run a way too conservative offense, and it's not going to work. And Jaden Daniels is not going to be happy, and it's not going to work well if he goes to Washington. Same with New England. This guy is not built for the NFL. He's not a mini Lamar Jackson. He is a joke. Disregard him. He does have positives, like he is an electric playmaker. However, he has horrible ball placement. It's his receivers, I feel, that are making the play due to him not putting the ball in the best position for them to catch it. And he had the privilege to throw to talented receivers at LSU. He's not going to have that privilege in the NFL. That privilege gets taken away from him. Terry McLaurin, he's good, but he's not elite. Demario Douglas, KJ Osborne, who are they? That's what he's going to have to go to. One of those two situations. He is not going to be a good passing quarterback. And offenses are going to figure him out easy, and he's going to be a lost prospect and wasted. Stay away from Jane Daniels. In fact, I have Daniels ranked. By the way, I had Mims ranked 72. I'm sorry I didn't say that. So, high third round. Jane Daniels is ranked 90th. So he should be a third round prospect. So yeah. And now, who's ready for the biggest joke in this year's draft? This player is far and away one of the prospects that I truly can't stand. He is so overrated. He's going to bust tremendously in this year's draft. Remember this. Last year, I criticized the Raiders for picking Wilson at number 7. Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. What did Tyree Wilson do this year? Barely anything. I critiqued the Packers. I gave them an failing grade for picking Lucas Van Ness at 13 when I had him ranked 106. What did Lucas Van Ness do that was special? Rarely anything. And if a team drafts this guy in the first or second round, they will automatically 100% pinky promise get an F grade from me, and I will laugh at them so bad for making probably the biggest mistake in NFL history for drafting this player, because he is truly and honestly a joke, and that player is Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson. I don't know if I've ever seen a more overhyped prospect that is bound for failure than Powers Johnson. I was super disappointed while watching his game film. I expected to see a lot. This guy's in the first round discussing. This guy's supposed to be special. He felt so bad. I did not get anything special from him. I was failed by Jackson Powers Johnson. And he will fail an NFL team. He may not be one that will allow sacks. However, what does he do to advance the best interest of the team? Name me something. I don't think there is a whole lot. I don't. He doesn't get it, and he doesn't care. He's not going to have a good NFL career. He doesn't play with enthusiasm. And I read about this from a source that I like to look at called First Round Mock. Daniel Kelly sponsors it, so if you want to check out his stuff, you can too. It's one of my favorite reads. This guy was like a tackle transitioning to a center. It's not going to work. It's not. He'll be a bust. That's all I have to say. I have him ranked as the 197th prospect in this year's draft. You should draft him in the 6th round. Why is he on first round boards? If any team drafts him, I don't think they have a chance. It's sad because the Steelers are considering it. And just pray that they don't. because it's going to backfire. So, yeah. Evaluating linemen was very tough. It was tough for me. However, I just don't see anything out of JPJ. I don't see it at all. I don't like the prospect, and it's going to be a rough career for him. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. That's all I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys got a fair bit of knowledge from this, and we'll see how I do this fall. You probably are surprised I didn't say we'll see how I do next week. Next week, the teams are just picking. We won't see how I did, and all the scouts did, and the teams did, till these guys take the field in the fall. So, yeah, we'll see how I do in the fall, and we'll talk then next year. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Pray for Israel. And as always, peace. See you next time.